Um, Back here again. Finally talking Eagles today. This is 2 and 5 Scoop podcast. I'm James Gilardi. This is my host, Asher Pileggi. A little
So,
bit of a late night session here. How's your day, Asher?
it was pretty good. It's getting hot now. It feels like summer.
Yep, I do landscaping, so I feel that to the core of my heart. Hot as balls out there. But today, really minimal Eagles news. There's nothing really going on there except for one thing, which we'll get into later. But today, mainly we're going to be focused on is more of our prediction series. Obviously, we haven't been able to get to doing Eagle stuff with me being away, and then with the Sixers news last week. Um, so we are going to be covering two divisions this week. We're going to be doing predictions for the NFC South and the NFC West. So to get us started, I saw a tweet. This came out 2 days ago, so that would have been Tuesday. Elliot Shore Parks. He tweeted out. He said the Eagles are likely to give Jalen Hurts a massive quarterback contract next offseason, around 35 to 40 million a year. And he also noted that it would be a good thing for the franchise. What are your thoughts?
Now, I mean, I feel like we went over it in our first Eagles episode. This is a massive prove yourself year for Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
The pieces are there. We're ready to make a run. Take a step up, improve yourself, turn into not just a run first quarterback, but a guy that can really gash defenses through the run, through the pass.
Mhm.
He's not going to get that deal if he doesn't improve.
Right, but one key word I wanna note there. Elliot Shore Park says the Eagles are likely,
Right.
likely. So that makes me think: are the Eagles seeing things like really, really big jumps in Hurts' game that are going to give them the initiative to even like leak this out?
Hmm.
Now mind you, the Eagles have overplayed players before. Cough, cough, Carson Wentz. So I hope they're not making the same mistake here, but hopefully they're seeing enough promise in Jalen this offseason that, that they can pay him this money. But like you said, huge, huge year. Kind of looks kind of sound like a broken record now. It's just a matter of time to see what happens this year with him. So yeah, that's really all the Eagles news. That's really it, unfortunately.
Real quick question to round that out, though. If Jalen Hurts plays like he did in 2021, minimal improvement, are you comfortable handing him $35 million a year for,
Uh,
say, 4 years?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. He wasn't. I mean, he was okay last year. I mean, he was definitely, he looked better than he did in his rookie year. But
Hmm.
I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt last year for his poor-ish play because it was first year, starting and everything. So, but he seemed to get into the groove of things towards the end of the year. Um, so hopefully that continues. Jalen Hurts is a player that I've never seen. Not improve or get worse, or he always improves. So I don't have any doubts in my mind that he's going to stay consistent with his play. I think we're certainly going to see some aspects of his game really, really take a huge step there, especially his accuracy. We talked about last episode. Nick Sirianni made comments about it. But I mean, we just had to see it for ourselves at this point. But that tweet is definitely great news. And then one more thing, I forgot to mention this. I mean, I mentioned it before, but just need to focus on this. Elliot Shore Park said that this contract would be a good thing for the franchise. That I feel like it's too early to make that kind of statement. Am I wrong?
Uh, the NFL is a league. It's obviously very quarterback driven. You think you found the guy, you grab on and you hold on as long as you can. I think in Elliot Shore Parks' opinion, Jalen Hurts is the guy. I don't. I can't say I disagree. Like I made clear in our Eagles predictions, I really think that
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts is going to take that step up. I
Excuse me.
have no problem thinking that he's going to be a $40 million man next year. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, neither do I. I do like his game. He's just not what not what I'm used to. I mean,
Mm,
he's the most versatile and like quick quarterback that we've had since Michael Vick,
right.
and those are big shoes to fill. So I mean, it's hard to kind of be open minded to like a guy that is able to move around but doesn't have the arm talent like Michael Vick.
Mm,
So, I mean, I could definitely see it. But I don't. I mean, that number scares me until I really, really see some improvements. I'm not a Jalen Hurts hater. I love Jalen Hurts, but standing here right now, I would not give him that contract,
right.
especially with how many times we've overplayed players. Whether I mean, being a Sixers fan as well,
Yeah.
we've overplayed players that don't that haven't proved that they're worth the money yet. So I think again, Jalen Hurts has to really, really prove himself this year. Um, so yeah, um, that's it for the Eagles news.
Mm,
Nothing really else going on until training camp, and we start hearing some news there. Seeing AJ Brown practice with the team and everything.
mhm.
But that really wraps it up. So on to our predictions. So here we're going to start with the NFC South. Asher, if you want to start us off.
Yeah. I think the logical place to start is going to be last year's NFC South champions, the Buccaneers.
Hmm.
There was a little period this offseason where it looked like this was not going to be the same team,
Yep.
namely because Tom Brady retired.
Yep.
And then Tom Brady unretired, and it very quickly became the same juggernaut that they were last year. Bruce Arians is gone. Todd Bowles replaced him. I don't think that changes much. Ronald Jones is a Chief. I don't really care. This is a 13-4 team. This is a 14-3 team. Tom Brady is ageless. They're going to win the division this year. I have no doubt about it.
Hmm. Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. There's really no disputing that. You can't really any team that Tom Brady's on, you can't really say that they won't win the division,
Yeah.
let alone be a very high seed in the conference.
Mhm.
I have him at 12-5, mainly because I mean Tom Brady. I don't know why I have him 12. I just thought 12, 13 wins.
Right.
I mean they're
That's
a
a
good
that's a
team.
base.
They're a good team, so I'm along the same lines as you.
Mhm.
But the Bucks pretty self-explanatory, bringing back the same guys almost.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to be a Super Bowl competitor once again this year.
Right. Next up, I have the Saints at 11-5. Jameis Winston did not play last year. I would attribute most of those close losses that they had to just having no quarterback at all. The offense was give Alvin Kamara the ball. The defense knew that that was going to be the offense, and they stopped it. I think Jarvis Landry is a Saint now. He's back in NOLA. This is a much scarier offense. The defense is still top tier. Sean Payton's gone. The Dennis Allen, who was the defensive coordinator for the Saints for many years, is the head coach now. The defense is still going to be great. I think that this is going to be one of the most improved teams in the NFL.
Hmm. I think otherwise. Second in the NFC South, I have the Atlanta Falcons,
Ooh,
7-10.
ooh,
Um, there's really nothing notable. It's more that I don't think that the other teams in the division are going to be that good.
okay,
Falcons are really going to be the same they were last year. Obviously with Marcus Mariota at the helm, and there is it Matt Corral that they drafted?
they got Desmond Ritter.
Oh, Desmond Ritter. Yeah, but I think they're going to have him behind Marcus or
Okay,
have a QB competition. We don't know who's going to be starting there.
right,
Regardless, it's going to be a downgrade from Matt Ryan. So I mean, I really just kind of see this team as a little under average.
Mhm.
Um, and then behind that, I have the Saints. I have them at 5-12.
Okay.
I don't really like the team. Jameis Winston. I mean, I don't care how many games he plays. I'm not a big Jameis guy,
Okay.
and it's a quarterback-driven league. And sure, there's Jarvis Landry and all, but I don't look at the Saints roster, and I don't see them as like they don't they don't jump off the paper. They don't seem like a competitor to me. That might be a hot take, but I don't think they're that good. Their defense is still going to be pretty damn good.
Mhm.
Um, but if you have Jameis Winston throwing the ball, your team's not going to be very good. And I think adjusting to um, a new system with the new head coach, I think it'll like rock the boat a little bit at the beginning. I think I mean, while he's familiar with the organization, I think it's going to be a little difficult in the beginning for Jameis to work with him. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Saints this year. I really don't see them as that good. I know you see them as like one of the most improved teams. They've
Yeah.
made a lot of nice additions. Um, but Jameis Winston is the 30 INT game, 30 interception
Yeah.
man.
Well, it's worth
And
noting he also had 30 touchdowns that year.
yeah,
He's
30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. But what
it's a little
Bucks
give and take.
7-9 that year?
I
Yeah.
I mean the Buccaneers were never a fantastic team with him there. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. Sean Payton, one of the better coaches that the NFL has seen in the past
Mhm.
maybe 40 years, 30
Yeah.
years. He's gone
Well,
big
mhm.
culture change just with that.
Yep.
I am all in on Jameis Winston this year. One of
Yeah.
my one of
You
my favorite
really
players. I'm really gonna be looking at him improving. I think he could be I still think he's a gunslinger. I don't think 20 interceptions is out of the question, but I also don't think 40 touchdowns is out of the question.
really?
Michael Thomas is still there. I
Oh, slant boy?
slant boy. Jameis Winston can throw the slant.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Thomas is good, but I wouldn't say,
I'm gonna I'm gonna do a little take your second team, the Atlanta Falcons.
Mhm.
My official prediction for the Atlanta Falcons is 2-15. I think that the step down from Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota slash third round pick Desmond Ritter is a lot more pronounced than people think it is. I don't think Matt Ryan gets nearly the amount of credit that he deserves. I mean, this was a middling Atlanta Falcons team, a bad Atlanta Falcons team at times last year. I think Matt Ryan kept them afloat, and I think they're going to sink this year.
Wow.
Calvin Ridley is out for the year, suspended. He bet on his own team's games. Their number one receiver is a rookie. They have Kyle Pitts, who's a great tight end, and not much else.
2-15, man.
Yeah,
Wow. So, do you have a team below them?
they
Jesus.
are my last team in the NFC.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, getting to my last place in the division, I have the Carolina Panthers. Pretty self-explanatory. They have what? Is Sam Darnold still there?
Sam Darnold is still
Yep.
there.
Yep.
They actually have a team that has Matt Corral, so that is also a team with an open QB competition.
Yep. Yep. So that's it. Not good. They're just not good. I mean, that's not like I can't give you like a deep analysis on them, but they're not good. Sam Darnold's awful. I hate him. He like he gives you like glimpses of hope that he's actually going to be like a decent quarterback, and then he just crashes and burns.
Yeah.
And it's like a repeating cycle.
That was the story of their last year for sure.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, I really don't see anything. I don't see anything there. Um, Defense is underwhelming. Offense is underwhelming. Overall, it's not a good team this year. I don't really like them. Um, so yeah, I mean that really wraps up my NFC South. I have First Bucks at 12-5. Second Falcons at 7-10. Third Saints at 5-12. And last place is the Panthers at 4-13.
So I'm on a similar page with you on the Panthers. I think Sam Darnold does not show flashes this year. I think Matt Corral takes over before the halfway point of the season. I think he's going to have a solid year. There's going to be the adjustment point that all rookie quarterbacks have. I think he's going to maybe be the Davis Mills of this year, where he kind of surprises you on a bad team with a not so great supporting cast. Christian McCaffrey, if he stays healthy, which I'm saying that he will, brings the Panthers to 7-10 for me. If he gets hurt, this team crashes and burns 4-13, 3-14 territory. But with Christian McCaffrey, I'm saying they get 7 wins.
I don't trust Christian McCaffrey's health. RB running backs, their careers don't last very long.
Yeah.
Period. Even if they're healthy. I mean, look at Zeke. I think he suffered some minor injuries, but his prime was 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think Christian McCaffrey is already past that point. He's missed majority of the last 2 years due to injury. I really don't see him coming back to the same form. I'd be very, very surprised. So I'm standing firm at 4-13, regardless if Christian McCaffrey's there, because I don't think he's going to be that big of an impact this year anyway. So that does it for our NFC South predictions. We're going to move to the NFC West. I'm going to lead us off. Of course, we can't forget about the Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams. I have them at 12-5. They're pretty much bringing it back. Aaron Donald came back. Matt Stafford. Just overall, a very strong team. I don't see them slowing down. I think they continue their momentum into this year. Matt Stafford continues to be, outrageously good and continues to, show the NFL why, he shouldn't have been forgotten about during his time in Detroit. He comes out. I think he has an MVP-like season. And I think he has a solid chance to win it. But yeah, 12-5, Los Angeles Rams, right up there, Super Bowl competitors once again.
Yeah. So I love Matt Stafford. I'm very glad that he got his ring after just wasting away there in Detroit. He is one of the most talented quarterbacks of this generation. Now he has that Super Bowl MVP. He is a champion. He's getting his respect. Odell Beckham tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. He's out for the year. Robert Woods is a Titan. Allen Robinson, who did not look very good last year, is coming in from Chicago to try to fill that void. Cooper Kupp is still there. I think Matt Stafford has the talent to make up for losing two of his weapons. Bobby Wagner comes in from the Seahawks on defense. Von Miller is gone. They replace one kind of out of their prime generational talent on defense for another. I'm right with you. The Rams keep their record from last year, 12-5, top of the division.
Okay, second place in the division is a little bit of a shocker, but I think I'm a little bit more of a believer this year. The Arizona Cardinals. I have them at 10-7. I think Kyler Murray, while it's been a very, very, shaky offseason with all that, I think he, finds his stride once again within the organization. And I think, I'm crossing my fingers, but I believe that they'll be able to get some consistency this year. Last year we saw them come out. I think they started 9-0. I think they're going to start out pretty strong and kind of be able to maintain that throughout the season. I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender this year. However, I do see them as definitely a playoff team. So I have them at 10-7.
I'm still in lockstep with you. Cardinals go 10-7. I agree. I don't think they're necessarily going to have the crazy disappearing act that we've seen the past 2 years where they come out looking like the best team in the NFL and finish looking like maybe they shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins has an MCL injury. It's lingering. He's expected to miss a third of the year. They bring in Hollywood Brown from the Ravens. That is not the same caliber of player, but I trust Kyler Murray. I think Cliff Kingsbury gets better as a coach each year. I think that's enough to make up for losing Hopkins for 6 games, 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cardinals finished 10-7 as well. However, they're finishing third in the division for me because the number 2, are the San Francisco 49ers. They made the NFC Championship last year with Jimmy Garoppolo kind of game managing. I have enough trust in Trey Lance. I think he's more than a game manager. I think he's going to have his fair share of mistakes this year as he adjusts to the NFL. This is his first full year as a starter. I think that the defense is still just as good. DeMeco Ryans is still there as the defensive coordinator. Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the NFL. They kept Debo after those long rumors that he was going to be maybe an Eagle. He's still a 49er. I think that offense is improved upon from last year. I think the Niners make some noise and finish number 2, 11-6.
I have them at 9-8,
Hmm.
mainly because maybe I get caught up too much in the quarterback stuff. But Trey Lance is a youngin. I don't think we've seen enough from him to say that he can really carry this team. Like you said, they went to the NFC Championship last year with Jimmy Garoppolo kind of just being a game manager. So there might not be much that Trey Lance has to do. But personally, I just haven't seen enough from him. I don't doubt that he can, fill in that Jimmy Garoppolo role. But overall, I think they have a little bit of a shaky schedule this year. They let me look at their schedule. They play teams like, they got the Chargers, Dolphins, they got the Bucks. There's some really, really tough matchups. They have a little bit, I believe they have a little bit of a road trip. Yeah, they have a couple game road trip. Yeah, I don't know. Having a brain fart. It's been a long day, man. Anyway, so I have them finishing at 9-8. Third in the division. NFC West continues to be, one of the most winningest divisions in the NFL. And then Asher.
Except for one team. The
Well,
NFC West has been very competitive. The Seahawks are not going to be competitive this year.
Nope.
Russell Wilson is a Bronco. Bobby Wagner is gone to the divisional rival Rams. Pete Carroll is still in place as a head coach. I think this is a team going from, what were they, 8-9 last year, maybe 9-8.
They were hovering around 500.
Yeah, Russell Wilson to Drew Lock or Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Similar fall. The Atlanta Falcons are taking from Matt Ryan to Desmond Ridder. I think the Seahawks are in similar territory. I don't think they have much talent. This is a 2-15, 3-14 team to me. I think Pete Carroll is good for one more win than the Falcons are getting, so I'm going to say 3-14.
Yeah, I'm going with 4-13 as my final record prediction for them. Pretty much right on the dot, Asher. Just big step down from the quarterback talent. They've lost a lot of key players like Bobby Wagner. Really not like I feel bad for Seahawks fans. I really do. They have like nothing to look forward to. Outside of DK Metcalf, who's like their only like notable player from the top of my head.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't have anyone throwing him the ball. In my opinion, this is the worst quarterback situation in the NFL.
Yep.
I would love to come back to the NFC when we do the NFC preview closer to the start of the season. When we're talking about official playoff predictions and all that, I would love to see them starting Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Yeah.
We'll see how the Deshaun Watson situation kind of ends up. But if I could pick one place for Baker to go, I would like to see him improve the quarterback situation in Seattle.
Random, but that I just want to talk about that a little bit. Baker Mayfield. What do you think? What do you think of him? Just out of curiosity, because personally, I like Baker. I think
I also do.
he was treated very very unfairly in Cleveland. He fought through was a torn shoulder, something with his shoulder. I forget what
Yeah,
the injury was, but pretty gruesome on his throwing arm? God,
I'm not exactly sure, but he is fighting spirit. I mean,
yeah,
he came in, he said he was gonna turn that Browns franchise around. He didn't exactly do that completely, but they got a playoff win. They made it to the playoffs. They haven't done that in a while.
right.
He has one mediocre year fighting through injury, and, everyone brings out the pitchforks. I don't like the hate.
Yeah,
I think he's still a top, like, 16, 18 quarterback in the NFL. He's top half starting quarterback.
yeah. No, I definitely agree, man. I just think he's one of the most overhated players in the
Mhm.
NFL, and not even like it's disgustingly overhated. I see too much of media. Colin Cowherd in particular, I always hear him shitting on Baker Mayfield.
He has hated Baker since he came into the league. He
Yeah.
he was probably the first one on the Baker hate train.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know, it just irritates me, man. Baker, had a mediocre season, like you said, a very underwhelming season because of injury. And I don't get why people are calling him a shitty quarterback when he's been dealing with a pretty gruesome injury, especially for a quarterback to go through and he's playing through it and he's landing on it all the time because he's getting knocked over. So
Yeah.
he can't feel great. It's like have some sympathy or like have some understanding, please. Because I like Baker. I think what he did to Cleveland, but I mean, he didn't bring them a Super Bowl or anything. But like you said, you know, playoff win that hasn't happened in forever for them. Um, People forget that just 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 2018, they went 0-16.
Yeah, that they went 1-31 over a 2-year span.
Yeah, yeah, 1-31. People are so quick to forget that, and now they hate Baker Mayfield because what? Like,
They didn't make the playoffs one year, but
yeah, like,
it's worth noting that the Cleveland Browns, as we know them, came around in 2000 and actually, no, I wanna say it's 1999.
yeah,
They were an expansion franchise because the original franchise had moved to Baltimore.
Baltimore. Yep.
This was technically the Browns' first playoff win in franchise history.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely correct. So, yeah, that should really wrap it up here. Um, Thank you, Asher, for joining me.
Yeah.
As always, subscribe, uh, follow me on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, uh, pick 215 Scoop PSP. Follow us on. You got it, Jesus. I'm having a rough
Well,
night, man. Jesus.
before you click off this video, PickSwap Media as a whole has a promo with thesportsdisplays.com. They have mounts for your baseball, hockey, football, basketball jerseys. You put in the promo code PickSwap and you get 10% off your order and free shipping. So, as always, thank you guys for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.